I feel as if I just finished one of my parent presentations. And when I finish one of those, I invariably see parents nodding their heads and looking at me as if they really wonder why no one ever told them this information before. It's really not that complicated. And then during the Q&A for these presentations, I always get the same two questions. First, how do I figure out if my child knows what he needs to know in each of these buckets of skills? And second, what can I do to help him? Well, I spent lots of my career just giving people general ways to build these skills. And what I heard again and again was that they didn't want just general help. People want specific things to do to make sure their children are making progress. And of course, everyone wants to do it quickly because we are all pretty much feeling overwhelmed, especially parents in busy families. So we created the Abound app to fill parent needs. And there are basically two parts to the app. The first part's what we call the check-in. We like to think of that as sort of a growth chart for reading. It's a series of short questions that you as a parent or caregiver answer about your child's behaviors. And it takes about 5 minutes. The questions are research-backed, they're age-specific, they're tied to state and national benchmarks for reading development. And when you finish with all these, with the check-in, you'll get personalized results. And it means you have your own sort of data set to share with teachers and caregivers maybe before a conference. We suggest you retake the check-in about every 8 weeks because these benchmarks change as children grow and you'll want to make sure you're aware of how your child's doing. So this check-in is the first part of the app. The second part of the app addresses those parents' questions about specific, quick, and easy things to do. So we give you a question of the day related to a type of reading skill, one of those buckets of skills. We give you a word of the week, and these are academic words. They're very carefully chosen because these are the kinds of words that kids struggle with in the years to come, and they're not in conversation. They're not the kinds that we use in conversation. And finally, we give you 2 book recommendations per week with a couple of words to point out and questions to ask for getting these conversations going about the book, which is what it's all about. So these 3 parts, the questions, the words, and the books, they're all tied to a 2-week theme. For example, our current theme is called State of the Art, and it's all about things related to art and design. Your child gets this expanded understanding of a topic through this repeated exposure to one theme over time, and it's powerful for learning. Parents tell us how surprised they are with what their child starts to talk about, and mostly parents tell us how satisfied they are with how connected they feel to their kids while they're having these conversations. Given that it's really hard to come up with ideas that will get these kind of connected conversations going that are the kinds of conversations that grow kids' brains, our app can do that for you. So give the Abound app a go. Remember that little ones want to talk about what you want to talk about. So if you seem to really care about, for example, how some buildings look as if they have faces on them, trust me, before you know it, you and your child will be talking about building design. And that's a long way from talking about finishing dinner or putting away toys, which is what we inevitably end up talking about in our families.